Oh, hell yeah. Welcome to the podcast, Stop Crying Poser, greatest podcast known to man as voted by everyone who's ever worked in a nail salon. I'd like to shout out everyone who chose to tune in live today right here on twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. We have Sharky Genie, Toronto Toad, Keith Skates, Infamy, Love My Toad, Dingo, Dogger Dude, Fluffy Nails, Lil Rebel, Mr. Jesus, Keith Skates, Scoodles, Dingo Dogger Dude, Toronto Toad, Low Key. We do this podcast every single Friday right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Right now it's 3:40, so we're only 10 minutes late. I think last week we were 1 hour and 55 minutes late, so we're certainly moving in the right direction. Today I have plenty of topics to talk about. Hopefully we can stretch this thing out to be at least, 30 minutes long. First, let's start with the holiday that just went by, the 4th of July, the old Independence Day. Do you guys remember that movie where the guy, he flies the plane? If you haven't seen it, spoiler, I'm going to spoil it. He flies the plane up into the vagina of the giant ship and then creates a massive explosion. And then he got him. That son of a bitch did it. That son of a bitch, he did it. I have a shirt that has that guy's face on it, and it just says "Never Forget." And no one ever understands it. In fact, I was standing in line the other day, and somebody's like, "Who's on your shirt? Is that like your grandpa or something?" I'm like, "No, it's one of the main stars of Independence Day." They're like, "Oh, I thought like maybe one of your relatives died in the war or something." I was like, "Yeah, he died in the 4th of July War, 1996. Like the shirt says "Never Forget July 4th, 1996, and then has a picture of that guy with his goggles, his crop dusting goggles. What a funny thing to misunderstand. The guy kept fucking looking at me. And it's one of those moments where you're like, yeah, it's just a movie, don't worry about it. Like, we don't have to keep talking. And they keep talking about it. Like, really? I thought it was this. Nope, it's not. Oh, okay, because I thought it was. It still isn't. That's because when I saw it, I thought, yeah, but the first 2 times, it's not. So we're waiting in line. You can face that way, I'll face this way, and we never speak again. How about that? How many years has it been since 1996? 1996, 2006, 2026, 20-something years. How about we never talk about this for the next 20-something years? Anyways, 4th of July was nice. I had plans to go hang out with friends. I had plans to go do this, plans to go do that. All the plans fell through, which ended up being fine because I just climbed up on my roof, sat down, and looked at some fireworks. I even streamed it. So some of you guys got to have 2 4th of Julys. People on the East Coast and people in the middle, not coast, anywhere where there's like a time difference. Our fireworks popped off from like 8 to like 10, like the good ones. So let's say the same thing happens where you are. You get to have 2 4th of Julys, one with your real life friends and one with your internet friends. So that was fun for you guys, I think. My dog is not afraid of fireworks at all. I attribute that to when he was a puppy. He was born in March. April, May, June, July. So when he was 4 months old, he was with me on 4th of July. And I took him everywhere. So he got to see fireworks when he was a baby. Then when he's 1 year old, he sees fireworks. 2 years old, he sees fireworks. Now he's 5 years old. He might even be 6 years old, 5 years old. I can't remember. Anyways, he doesn't care about fireworks at all. In fact, he gets excited. He'll do this thing where when I take him around the block, sometimes I'll ride my skateboard. So he'll be dragging me on the skateboard. If he hears a firework go off, he doesn't go faster from fear. He goes faster for he gets hyped. He's like, what's that noise? Oh shit, noises. Kind of like when he sees another dog. He's like, oh fuck, another dog. And then he puts it into extra gear. Anyways, 4th of July was nice. Sat on the roof. Then my buddy T came over, hung out on the roof, drank a beer. They brought a bunch of Jello shots. Who would ever eat a Jello shot? I have no idea. I feel like at this age, after the age of, let's say 19, I think once you turn 19, it's like, well, what's the hype? I feel the same about Jello. I don't need Bill Cosby trying to give me some Jello pudding, trying to get me all drugged up and then putting it in pill form. First off, Jello, already not a fan of it. Not a fan of the way it jiggles. Not a fan of its weird, sugary, like sweet, sour, tart texture. Not a fan of any of that. And then it's wiggling at me the whole time. No, thank you. Also, there's a certain like opacity that that Jello should be. It should be something like a fish tank. Like if you look in a fish tank and you see somebody on the other side of the fish tank, they would sort of resemble themselves. Some people's Jello shots are, you can't see through them at all. It might be called a Jello brick. So T and his lady made these Jello shots, red, white, and blue. So the red, you can kind of see through the red. The blue, you can kind of see through the blue. The white is just straight up milk. Straight up milk, white, can't see through it at all. How did they do that? Why did they do it? Who came up with white Jello? First off, ew. It's just not appealing. And then the idea that like, oh, you can't just eat it, right? I have to put my tongue in it and squeeze the little sauce pack. Oh, I spilled some of it. Cool. What do I do with this? Throw it away. Well, there's still little bits of it left. Cool. Just waste the alcohol. Also, can you guys tell me anytime in your lives anyone's ever gotten fucked up off a Jello shot outside of 8th grade? Like one of those weird ways. You guys used to hear those rumors of how people would like sneak alcohol into school. Like, oh, I soaked my tampon in Bacardi, and I'm a man, and I shoved it in my ass, and I got drunk. First off, no amount of liquid that a tampon can hold is ever gonna get me drunk, despite even if I'm 130 pounds in 8th grade. No amount of tampon liquor is gonna get me fucked up. All right, like you gotta bring me some beers, a bottle, a shot, something. Or what about just bring like a Gatorade to school? Why are people being so sneaky with it? Like, there's a way to get drunk without shoving something in your ass. That's what my grandma used to say. You don't have to shove something in your ass to get drunk, even if you're in school. Which that's just a bad decision either way. Anyways, Jello shots. Long story short, not a fan of Jello shots or shoving things in my ass. So that both those go hand in hand. No need for Jello shots. We're old enough now, right? Take it. You want a shot? Take a shot. You want a mixed drink? Mixed drink. You want a beer? Grab a beer. Jello shot? What's the point? Anyways, pretty exciting week. Also, I did the first part of like a 2-part interview for Jenkem Mag, which is kind of like, I don't know how you guys would describe it. It's like an internet magazine. They also have a YouTube channel. It's kind of like, it's not Thrasher, like it's not Trans World. It's kind of like more, I would say, edgy. I think there was a point in which it was really edgy, but I don't know if that's how you guys would describe it. Anyways, I did a like a video interview, which is gonna then be transcribed into text. Basically just about the good old days of YouTube. Like what's changed? What do I think went wrong? What state is YouTube skateboarding in right now? We talked for like an hour. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but I talked about the things of YouTube that frustrate me, the things that I liked, what my plans were going to be had my channel not turned upside down. Also, today I uploaded a video that proves YouTube is fucking me. Someone out there on the internet tried to subscribe to my channel. They took my subscribe button away. They added the join button, but that guy didn't want to join. When you join, it costs money. So the next thought was, well, maybe he was already subscribed. Okay, well, the unsubscribe button is gone. There's no subscribe, there's no unsubscribe, there's no bell, there's no nothing. And you think, well, maybe that was just the video page. No. He clicked, first there was no subscribe on the video page. That was the first problem. Then he went over to the actual, like, user page. Still no subscribe button. Is it a surprise to anyone that my channel's not growing when for a certain percentage of viewers, it's impossible to subscribe at all. I feel like that's a bit of a problem. I should have talked a little bit more about that with Jenkem. I should send them the video from today. Anyways, it just goes, I feel like a conspiracy theorist whenever I say like, YouTube's against me. Why won't it work? Oh my God. Like, what are the odds? I shouldn't be like my YouTube channel shouldn't be suffering this badly. And it's like, it's nice to finally have actual proof of something sneaky going on. So I don't know when the Jenkem thing is going to come out, but I will keep you guys updated. Can I tell you guys about the worst experience of my entire life? I'm exaggerating, of course. Can I tell you about the time I accidentally made a FaceTime call? Now, first off, a little backstory on me. I don't even like to talk on the phone. Okay, I'm like an old boomer with a lot of things. You know, like get off my lawn, god damn it. But don't do no complies. Don't grab the board. Like I'm kind of an old schooler with a lot of things in my life. But one thing that I really embraced as an adult is texting. In fact, I text with my phone. I say, hey, text Nick. I'll be there in 5 minutes. That's my version. So talking on the phone, I'm not saying it's uncomfortable. I'll talk on the phone if I have to, or I'll talk on the phone if it's like a matter of something needs to be figured out right now. For example, I'll be like, hey, I can't figure out where to park. Where do I park? I'm already in the area. Tell me where to park. If I text that, I have to wait for a response. Usually I can deal with waiting for a response, but if I'm trying to find a place to park, I can't, so I need to call, figure out where to park. That's one example of why I would use the phone, right? So the other day, I was out hanging out with my friends, drinking, partying. It was like Wednesday, just drunk. Oh my God, man, we had such a crazy night. I wake up, oh, my body's broken. Actually, this would have been Saturday. This would have been Sunday morning. I'm waking up, my body's broken. Oh, drank too much. My friends won money. It was my friend's pre-birthday celebration. We got all fucked up. You know, I get dropped off at the house. I'm feeling great. Go to bed. Fucking wake up, just feeling like shit. So I roll over. I'm like, oh, what time is it? Oh, I have an Instagram message. Okay, let's look at the Instagram message. I try to open Instagram. It makes an Instagram FaceTime call. I go, oh, fuck. I don't want to make this FaceTime call to some skater guy, right? Some guy that I've skated with, but we're not like quite friends, just some acquaintance that I've seen around. So I'm FaceTiming this guy that I don't really know. I'm shit hammered. I'm in my bed, so I'm looking like this, like one eye, and I get up and I go, oh, fuck. And I swipe it to the right. I swipe it to the right. That should take it off the screen. Oh, it keeps bouncing back. I go, oh, fuck, maybe it's backwards. Swipe left, it's Tinder style. Nick, get out of here. Swipe left, swipe left. Nothing, it keeps bouncing back. I swipe up, swipe down, swipe, double click, turn it off. I go turn it off, it goes full screen. I go, oh my God. I turn the whole phone off. And it goes emergency, and I try to swipe the phone. I try to swipe the phone, it says power off or emergency. I swipe emergency. The phone calls 911. I go, why is my life like imploding right now? What did I do to deserve this? I'm already hungover. Now I'm panicking about having to be seen by someone, and then I accidentally called fucking 911. So finally the phone turns off, I left it off. So it was a complete disaster, and it all started like, what are the odds that so many bad things would happen in that tiny span of time? Can you imagine being like, oh, I'm getting in a car accident, and then mid-car accident, you get raped, and you're like, well, how are these two things happening at once? What's happening? And then a bunch of cold water lands on you, like, oh, and it's cold. All the worst things that are happening all at once. Why? You know, classic car accident, rape, freezing car accident, rape. If I had a nickel. Anyways, it was just so terrible, man. And I have friends that it's a battle. It's a constant battle of, why don't you answer my phone calls? Because I don't fucking want to. Why don't you text? I don't want to text. I want to call you. Okay, cool. Well, I'm driving. Or I'm fucking watching a video. Or I'm watching a movie. Or I'm doing literally anything than rather talk to you. You know when's the time and place to talk? When I'm there. When I'm right next to you. Now we can speak to each other. Now we are in the same room. You have my undivided attention. Right now, my attention is divided between maybe I'm watching TV, maybe I'm watching a movie, maybe I'm editing, maybe I'm doing 1,000 other things at once, maybe I'm cooking. That's my divided attention. It has been divided between you and something else. So why not allow me to get back to you at my leisure? Remember those voicemails? I'll get back to you at my leisure. Get back to me at your leisure. To who it may concern, get back to me at your leisure. Oh, that's a nice way to start a business email. Why not live your life like a business email? Just be polite. Why is everything I have to talk to you? Why? Just to tell you I'm at the bar waiting for you. Oh, that's funny. We could have easily solved this entire debate, not only in less time. It takes less time for me to read a sentence than it does for you to dial my number and then say it out loud and then for me to hear it. So basically, you're wasting my time. You're wasting my life. Again, I say this all the time. One day I'll be dead. And I'll go up and I'll be at the pearly gates and God will say, what'd you spend most of your life doing? And I'll say, waiting at red lights and talking to douchebags on the phone. That's all I did, God. I know I should have been out having fun, but instead my phone was ringing. I was being distracted and talking on some dumbass phone. That's what I did for my entire life. Glad I wasted it. Right? Right. Okay. Can I tell you guys another horrible, horrible story about my life? I've told you guys this many times. Maybe not so much on the podcast. We don't talk food here on the podcast as much as we should. But on my stream here, twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle, we often talk about my dislike of mayonnaise. And I always say, I don't really like mayonnaise. You want to know why? Because once you learn how to make mayonnaise yourself, very easy. I think it's eggs and oil pretty much and maybe one or two other ingredients. Boom, it's made. It's an emulsion. It's an emulsion. It's an emulsion. It's because when I think of mayonnaise, I think of my childhood and all these bologna and mayonnaise sandwiches I had in grade school. And I didn't like them. I didn't like them. I was a grade school kid who's like, okay, am I getting peanut butter and jelly? Woo! Am I getting that mayonnaise bullshit, mayonnaise and bologna? Fuck! God, I hate fucking first grade. Bitch! Fuck! Fuck the teacher too. Get away from me. I'll trade you. Ew, no one wants your trash bologna. Fuck you too then, bitch. Anyways, my childhood was filled with a lot of bologna sandwiches with nothing but bologna. Only bologna and mayonnaise. Except it wasn't mayonnaise. It was animal semen. It wasn't mayonnaise. Listen, mid-30s. I thought that mayonnaise was the same thing as Miracle Whip. It's not. Miracle Whip's different. Sweet. Every day I wake up and say, oh, I sure would love some sugar on my bologna. Well, actually, in slang, that sentence would make more sense. You know what, Sharky Genie, I wouldn't mind some sugar on my bologna right now. But other than that context of that little inside joke, outside of that, no one wants a sweet-ass bologna. This is what I'm saying. Basically what I'm saying is, I'm going to give mayonnaise another shot. I've heard from Reddit and Google that the best mayonnaise is Duke's, because Duke's is made with real egg yolks. So as soon as I go grocery shopping on either Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to get real mayonnaise. Now, I was lucky enough to get a little packet of mayonnaise. I got some food. I got a turkey sandwich to go the other day from the bar, and they gave me a little packet of mayonnaise. This was Heinz mayonnaise. And I said, wait a minute. I want to do a taste test, but I want it to be real. So I put the little tiny mayonnaise packet in my fridge to let it get cold, because that's where mayonnaise is going to be hanging out. It's going to always be right there in the fridge. Let it get cold. I opened it up, threw it on the turkey. Before I ate the turkey, I put a little one finger in there that I said, nothing special. Nothing special, just some bullshit. Just some random ass condiment. Is it bad? No. Is it good? No. It was just in the middle. But then I'm thinking maybe that's just because Heinz is not Heinz. Forgot I had this. Heinz is maybe it's not known for mayonnaise. Maybe it's known for ketchup, which is also one of the worst condiments ever made. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna be able to afford a taste test because I don't need that much mayonnaise at one time. But I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna get Duke's mayonnaise. Put up your Dukes. I'm gonna get Duke's mayonnaise and try it out. But here's the other thing. QP. right? Japanese mayo? What is that? I don't know. No one knows. I'm trying to read about it, but the thing is, you can't read about a taste. You got to taste it. You got to taste the rainbow. No one ever says, "Look at the rainbow. Guess how it tastes." You got to go in there and taste it. So I'm gonna find out. Eventually, I'll find out. Anyways, yeah, my whole life is a lie. We're finding out right now. My entire life is a lie. I'm gonna need therapy for years because I thought I knew what mayonnaise was. It kind of goes to show that you don't know anything about anything. What else am I getting wrong in life? Every time I've eaten an apple, what was it? Actually an orange? Oops. Every time I've eaten asparagus, it was kale. That's why I don't like some of those things. Moving on, it's been a very hot week. I can't not complain about the heat. In fact, I didn't skate this week, which is pretty rare for me. Usually, I don't skate during a week either because of some like crisis, like bed bugs, or because of like an injury, like my foot's hurt or my back is hurt. Those are really the only injuries I get anymore, a foot problem or a back problem. But the heat finally pushed me out because every single day this week it was 110. And of course, I know someone's going to be logical out there and say, why don't you skate at night? Why don't you skate in the morning? Well, the morning for me is kind of impossible. Changing your sleep schedule, you guys know this, is not an easy thing to do. It's not easy to change your sleep schedule. Second off, if I don't get a lot of sleep, my back hurts bad. It gets like inflamed, and then it becomes really, really easy to injure. I know this because, I don't know, 5 out of 10 times I've ever hurt my back is because I'm traveling or people are traveling here and I try to skate 3 days in a row. I don't get a lot of sleep. I wake up at 9 a.m. trying to skate, and if I do that 2 days in a row, my back is completely out, can't walk. Now I can't walk. Now I can't do anything fun. So that's the reason I don't want to go in the morning. Although if I change my entire schedule and never changed it back, that'd be cool. But then guess what? Then I wouldn't be able to hang out with my friends on the weekend. And if I don't get to like have my weekly beer with my friends, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Right? I don't know if everyone has that like weekend like decompress, but I do. And I very much appreciate it, and I'm not giving it up. And I'll be damned if I have to start drinking at like 5 p.m. I don't like that idea. I gotta get fucked up at 5 p.m. so that I can get to sleep by 11. No, I want to start drinking at 10, and I want to go home at fucking 3, bitch. And that's the bottom line. What? So then you say, why don't you go skating at nighttime? Okay, I was going to. I guess this is the part of the show where I explain that I don't have an excuse. I don't have an excuse for not skating at nighttime. It's still really hot even at nighttime. I have a screenshot on my phone from a couple years ago. The screenshot says it's midnight. It's 12 o'clock midnight, and the temperature was 99 degrees still. Then again, at night you don't have the sun touching you, so it's nowhere near as bad. But that's what I gotta do. Also, the skate park that I like the most, the lights there are really, really bad, and the camera that I use, or more so the lens that I use, is not very good when there's not a lot of light. So I guess that's just an excuse. Also, the quality gets bad, and when you have to turn the ISO all the way up. The problem here is just half quality, half laziness, half just looking for something to complain about. What? But then again, we wouldn't have a podcast if I didn't just constantly complain. We did talk about the subscribe button, right? We did. I have a question for you guys, but before we get into the question, I would like to give away a free pack of stickers to someone who lives in the United States. That could be you. That could be you or you or you. Could be anybody. All you have to do is answer a question correctly. Cheating is allowed. And this one's going to be a locals only question. Nah, not for locals only, but a locals question. I live in the great city of Las Vegas, Nevada. First one to tell me what Las Vegas translates to, what it roughly translates to, what our city is named after, you will be the winner. Somebody named Las Vegas this because it acknowledges the wild grasses which grew in the nutrient-rich desert soil with ample supply of water. So what is San Diego? San Diego is like Saint Diego, right? Don't a lot of those San Francisco, Saint Francisco. Is there any other names that we would? El Paso. What does that mean? The past. The past. I don't know if that's true. Anyways. Ghostface says the Meadows. Ghostface Jaw is the first one to get it right. Day Day also said the Meadows. Stem said that shitty mall. That wimpy deer. Ghostface, send me a DM after the podcast and I will send these to wherever you live in America. You are the lucky winner. By the way, we give them away. Stickers every single podcast here. Is there any other podcast on the entire internet that cares about its viewers more than this? No. There's no one. So what should you do? You should tell a friend about the podcast. Or, listen, I had this thought the other day. It was a really morbid thought. Okay, but I'm going to tell you guys how my mind works sometimes, even though it can be dark. And I don't want to get canceled for this. But let me set up the backstory. My friend Patrick, I told the story. He killed himself earlier this year, or last year. And he kept wanting to give me shit. And I didn't see the warning signs, and we had a big sad podcast about it. But now I think he would appreciate being included in some of the jokes. He kept trying to give me shit. Here, take my beer pong table. We'll just play beer pong at your house. I said, no, just bring it every time. You don't need to leave it here. Just bring it. I don't have a lot of room. And he's like, then he gave me a hockey puck. Here's a hockey puck. I hate the fucking Seattle Kraken. He said, yeah, but you said their logo's cool. I was like, oh yeah, you did listen to me say that one time. Cool. I'll take the fucking hockey puck. Sure, fine. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Anyways, we're gonna turn that into a joke because if anyone out there is thinking of maybe killing themselves, they definitely should not. Go out there and find help. Right? Find help. Talk to your friends. Talk to your family. Find someone to talk to. Check out therapy. Find some hobbies. But if you're gonna do it, if you have to do it, send me all your money. Send me your life savings, and then before you try all that, before you do that, talk to people, talk to your friends. But before you do that, donate your life savings to the Stop Crying Poser podcast, in memory of something that brought you so much joy, right? Like, go out there, get the hotline. Use the hotline first. But if the hotline, if they can't do anything for you, or let's say you have like a super aggressive cancer or something, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Should I donate to a charitable cause? Yes. Yes, of course. Donate to a charitable cause. Me. Okay. No more of those jokes. I had a question for you guys. What happened to slick boards? You guys remember slick skateboards? Hopefully there's some skateboarders in the chat. I remember back in the day, we used to be able to order a CCS magazine. And what it is a little catalog. And in this catalog, it shows you little items you can buy, all these skateboards and wheels and bearings and trucks. Oh boy, I can buy all these. And you don't buy them online. Oh no, you buy them from a catalog. How do you do that? I think you call them and then give them you give them your credit card number or something. I don't know. I used to look at these things being broke as fuck, being like 15 years old, like, oh my gosh, what is a slick skateboard? Ask my friends, what's a slick skateboard? It's probably slick. Damn, I need that. You can't even board slide. But if I had the slick board, I would be able to board slide. That's why I can't board slide, because I got the sticky board. No one. See, the pros are probably all using slick boards. I'm using sticky board. Like I'm in a third world country. No. I live in the world of board slides. I never got to get one. I was too broke. But I remember they offered blank slick boards. Ghostfaced says Ghostface. I said Ghostfaced. Ghostfaced with a T. Oh my god. Anyways, I was wondering what happened to that shit. I think what it was either a layer of like wax, like a thick layer of wax, or it could have been like plastic or carbon fiber or something that somehow stuck to the bottom. But then it had me thinking, what if your tail gets bashed up, which if you're a beginner skater, let's be honest, you're gonna slam your skateboard into a bunch of walls because you have no control. That doesn't really happen, years and years into skateboarding. It doesn't bash into walls as often as it did when you were a kid, which is why razor tail was a thing as a kid. Also, when I skid on my tail, I drop my back heel down. So I'm fucking up my shoe more than my skateboard. You guys should look into that if that's how you stop on a skateboard. Anyways, I was thinking if that ply is not wood and if it's not glued like tightly enough, wouldn't that start to delam really bad? I don't know. I never had a slick board. Maybe you guys can figure that out, because it looks like in the chat, the chat is equally as confused as me. Fluffy says the ones I skated were laminated on the bottom. Yeah, but what happens? Like, is it stronger? Does it scratch off? Now we have rails. Rails is like the new slick, right? I don't know. I also remember, and again, when you're a kid and you're talking about skating, like it's like two people that know nothing trying to figure something out, right? Oh God, this brought back a horrible memory that I'm not going to share today. Anyways, the issue is like, I say, well, what's up with the slick boards? And your friend says, oh, it's slick. Now, how do you know? I don't know. I think it's my friend told me. Well, why wouldn't everyone get a slick board? Oh, because it's like 10 pounds heavier. What? It's that much heavier? Yeah, my friend told, my brother's friend's his brother said that it was 10 pounds. Who? What's his name? Scott Meadows told me. Scott Meadows? He sounds like he skates. Oh, he skates. Scott Meadows 100% skates. And he used to skate. See, so I just remembered. See, Scott Meadows used to skate the slick boards, and it was too heavy. Fucking Scott Meadows, dude, that son of a bitch. And then the rumor gets started, and then you start to think slick boards are 10 pounds. I don't know. Who knows? I've been having some crazy dreams, man. I woke up today, really confused and like annoyed that here's the dream. I walk out to my front yard. There's tons of bicycles. Bicycles everywhere. Let's say like 30 bicycles all lined up in my front yard. Half of them are in my garage. It's a line coming out of my small garage that goes all the way to the street. Someone is having some fucking bicycle sale in my yard and in my garage. I walk out there and say, who the fuck are you guys? How'd you get into my garage? And what are all these bikes doing here? And they said, oh, we're friends of your family. I said, I don't have any fucking family. You're not friends of my family. No one in my family would ever allow you to do this, selling bikes out of my house. That never happened. And they're like, well, how do we have the key to your garage? And I was like, I don't fucking know. I have no idea how you have the key to my garage. Get the fuck out of here. And then they started calling me racist because they were all Hispanic. It's a dream. I don't know what makes me think of this shit. And eventually they end up in my house, and then it becomes like a fight. And I'm like, you guys gotta get the fuck out of here. And they're like, well, didn't you sell some of our bikes last week? And I was like, I didn't sell any bikes. There's no bicycles here. I have one bike, and of course, in my dream, I'm like, it's the bike with the bell and the extra big seat. That's my bike. And you guys grab all your bikes, get them the fuck off my property, leave my bike. If you take my bike, it's about to get fucked up. So then I started fighting with this big fat dude he was like fat, but he had like the brain of like a 5-year-old. and then of course like we're going, and then you go to hit him, and then the dream, of course, now you got slow motion hit. I'm like, oh great, now I'm just slow bitch in my shit dream where I'm just being fucking extorted by a bunch of Hispanic people selling bicycles, and now they're taking over my house. You see, build a wall. I'm just kidding. What if that's the root? What if that's the root of my dream? Donald Trump has made his way into my brain. Just doing this. Just making that face. You guys ever seen that meme? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. So, I guess, I don't know. What makes these dreams happen? My second dream, which, by the way, no melatonin, no pills. I ate a bunch of guacamole before bed. I ate the guacamole before bed. Maybe that had Mexicans on the brain. Anyways, the second dream, I was on a skateboarding trip on an aircraft carrier. Oh, well, this dream started off very logical. Why would I be on a skateboarding trip on a giant naval military ship for all the skate spots? What? So anyways, we're there, and I guess we're like, yeah, first we're gonna do the tour of the ship, and then we'll figure out what you guys are gonna skate. And then like I ended up inside of a jet, and the jet's flying around, and then the jet is like inside of a wave, like the barrel of a wave, like a surfer would be. First off, jets go faster than waves. Prove me wrong, Alex Jones. None of this makes any sense. I'm just hovering in this jet with with waves going over us, and the pilot's like, "It's cool, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Aren't we gonna get in trouble? Doesn't it cost like hundreds of thousands of dollars to take off? And he's like, "Yeah, fuck it, it's government money." And I'm like, "What? I'm just a skateboarder. I'm not even a good one. I'm not even a good skateboarder. How did I get here? This should be someone else." Then we fly back to the ship, and we're like, "So what are we gonna skate?" And they're like, "Well, this guy has a toolbox." And I'm like, "A toolbox? We just spent $500,000 of taxpayers' money so I can skateboard on a toolbox? God damn it." So that was the dream. What does it mean? You guys tell me in a comment below. That's all I got for you guys. Secondary topic, I was watching some shows on Netflix. I opened a series called Web of Make-Believe Internet Lies. Something like that. It's on Netflix. Web of Make-Believe Internet Lies. I don't know what it's called. Very interesting. The first episode was all about like swatting. Like the first few people that did swatting and the first people to get caught swatting and the first person to get killed during a swatting prank, which what that is that's when someone calls the SWAT team like to your house and just to inconvenience you. And I guess the reason one of these happened was because someone lost a game of Call of Duty and they were mad about it. So they sent the SWAT team to the guy's house and then he died, or somebody ended up dying. So it's like, oh, cool. Talk about a sore loser. Am I right? He's like, I lost the game, but you lost your life, bitch. Anyways, they talked about how that like got started, and they interviewed like the people involved. And then the second episode was about all the like the BLM like protests and riots and all the like the right-wing people that marching, and how a lot of them deep down are super fucking racist, but when they come off on TV and on their interviews, they just act normal, but like behind closed doors there's all these secret recordings, and then some of them become like super fucking racist. Like I'm talking like doing like Nazi salutes and shit, and you're like, whoa. Because I'm watching the show, I'm like, I've seen some of these guys on TV. And then it shows them doing a Nazi salute from a hidden camera, and I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't know these people were like that gnarly. There's got to be like some middle ground here, man. Jeez Louise. And then the last episode, I don't remember what it was, but it was also something really interesting. Oh, it was about fraud. It was about a guy who lived his entire life doing like fake tax returns. And the way he made it, he got arrested, right? And he never tells them his name because he's like, it doesn't matter what my name is because I can just make a new name and I can just make a new me. And the way that he explained it was a lot more poetic than I'm putting it. He was kind of right. But eventually they did find out who he was. Here's the twist. They found out who he was using surveillance that was like not approved by the government. And I'm not going to spoil the story, but it gets really weird because this guy goes to prison for 5 years. All he does every single day for 5 straight years is read legal books, and then it gets fucked. Then he goes to court, and it's great. You guys should check it out. Web of Make-Believe Lies. I don't know. I don't remember what it's called. Let me type it in right now. Web of Make-Believe Internet Netflix. Let me get the title right for you guys. Web of Make-Believe Death, Lies, and the Internet. Okay, Web of Make-Believe Death, Lies, and the Internet. Anyways, you guys should check it out, or at least watch the trailer if you want to. So that's all I got for today's podcast. I would like to thank Keith Skates for resubscribing. He has been subscribed for 64 months. I want to thank Mr. Jesus for resubscribing. He has been subscribed for 10 months. The rest of you guys should be ashamed for not subscribing, but that's fine because you don't have to support. You can tell a friend about the podcast. You can tell multiple friends about the podcast, and that would be just as good. You can also send me $1, $2, or every dollar you have in your account. Either of those would be fine. But the easier option would simply be to tell a friend about the podcast, the only podcast that gives away free stickers every single episode. We do this podcast every single Friday, right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, right here on twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. Can I get a, oh, hell yeah, in the chat for those of you who chose to tune in live? If you tuned in late and missed the beginning of the podcast, don't worry, because the repeat of this podcast comes out on Sunday. Sunday. Early in the morning, it comes out on YouTube, on Podbean, on Spotify, on Podcast app, on iTunes. If you have iTunes, leave a positive review. Say, I really like this podcast. It was really good. Write that in there. And that would be something nice you could do for me. Shout out to Toronto Toad, Day Day, iBook Boy, Love My Toe, Sharky Genie, Day Day, Scoodles, and everybody else who didn't say anything. I hope you guys have a great weekend. As I always say, don't drink too much, but also don't drink too little. Do not ever FaceTime me.